Hey everybody, I didn't really get a chance to shoot much of a video tonight, so I did want to just take a couple of minutes and do a sort of good night chat video here at the Waterfall Tank as I'm shutting down the fish room. I've got all the other lights in the room turned off, and this is always the last one I leave on, and it gives me a little bit of light down here in my, I don't know if we'll call it my new tank or not, but it is my revamped tank. I've got a little bit more activity going on as far as a waterfall. You can see a little bit of ripples and splashing, so that gives me a little bit of that sound quality. I've also got some plants growing in there that are going to grow up and out, and so that tank is going to integrate nicely with this one eventually. Now this one is in need of some maintenance. You can see how low the water level is there. We're probably almost 2 full inches from the top. You can also probably tell how yellowy brown sort of tannin stained the water is. You can see my gourami hiding over here in the darker side of the tank. And you can probably also notice how little bit of water flow I've got going on at the moment, which indicates that I really need to get in there and do a filter change. I love watching these little guppies get up on the surface and they swim around pretty much above the leaves, and a lot of times will actually find themselves nestled above a leaf as I turn the lights on in the morning. That's how they sleep. You can see that little fat one over there keeps going up, swimming around on top of the leaves. It's a big old snail right there I need to pull out of there. And just a few days ago I did not have any duckweed in this tank at all, and now I've got a bunch of it back in there, so I'm wondering what I did to put duckweed back in this tank. Another little thing I noticed about this tank while I was sitting here enjoying it, you can probably not, well, maybe you can see when I get my hand down there. See how this has that 90-degree bend in it? I'm not sure why it didn't kill it outright. You'd think everything from that point down would be dying off, but it's not. It's growing very well, but that point you can see right there is sort of burnt plant material from sitting right there touching that light. So it's hot enough that it burnt that, and personally I don't like it directly under the light because it blocks a lot of the light shining down into the tank. We've got some flowers blooming on my Rex begonia over here. So I've mentioned before that I think of this Rex begonia more for its foliage than I do its flowers, but you can see it's got some flowers going on in there, and the plant itself just keeps going and going and going. If we look at it from this side and get some lighting through it, you get a little better idea of how big it is and how amazing it looks. And of course when we come to the side here, you get much more of a look at how three-dimensional this tank is, how far it really grows out from where the waterfall is. So definitely need to get in there and do some maintenance. I need to do that filter change as I said, and I need to do a big water change and get the glass all wiped down and everything. So we'll probably do that tomorrow. I should have some time available to get that done. But I also wanted to point out one other thing. I usually save it for videos where we're doing more of a full update on the tank when I talk about spraying for aphids and the aphid infestation that I've had down here and the way I've been treating for them and spraying for them. Well, I haven't sprayed or treated for aphids since I don't even remember when the last time I did it was. And I was in here looking and I really just don't see any. I think I finally completely and thoroughly beat back the aphids to the point where we have none on this tank anymore. So that makes me very happy. I was really worried about that I was just going to constantly forever be down here fighting aphids, and it looks like I was able to finally actually get on top of them and kill them all off. Of course, now that I said that, probably tomorrow I'll find some aphids on something when I'm in here doing some work, but that's okay. If I've got to still spray a little bit more and maybe there's a few hiding here and there, that's just the way it is. But as far as I can tell, I haven't had to worry about the aphids or spraying for them in weeks. And if that's the case, then there's a pretty good chance that I don't have to worry about those aphids anymore. So there you go, just a final look at my waterfall tank before the lights go out for the evening. This is the final light of the fish room. As I said, I always like to wind down and have this tank be the last one lit for the day. I do have a couple of other things going on. I got a new fish in my office tank upstairs that I'm kind of waiting to surprise everybody with. And I remodeled one of my tanks down here in the fish room that I'm kind of waiting to surprise everybody with. So make sure you're subscribed, and that way you won't miss anything I've got coming up. Got a couple of reveals to happen here pretty soon. Don't forget, this one, of course, is my waterfall tank. And I hope you enjoyed this little look at it with me. I'll see you real soon in the next one.